what you learned in school. Never mind what your parents told you, and disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle. And when your journey is over and you're safe at home, they promise you'll be stronger, smarter, and just plain better. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, everyone in the studio here. Hi, Nate. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well, Brian. How are you?
Did you survive the week?
Obviously
you did.
Yeah, up until now. There's still
everything was great up until we got.
There's still a couple days left in the week, so
yeah. That.
I'm a little stuffy, so you'll have to excuse that.
You've got a little congestion going on. You've been coughing a little bit. I hope everything goes good. Today is Thursday, November 7th, 2013. We're broadcasting from the back room of the Cavity Search Bar and Studio. In what city and what country, Nate? You've got nothing.
Bangladesh. I don't remember the name of the city.
In a large city, in what country?
Okay.
Bangladesh. They're famous for
you don't remember where we are?
Their cavity searches. I'm a little fuzzy. You fly first class. You fly 15, 20 hours. It's straining.
Well, after that cavity search that Jose at the TSA gave you, you would be a little cloudy.
That wasn't at the TSA.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, it was in
you paid for that, didn't you?
I did.
That's
it was
right.
at the Mexican bar. Anyways, it's a beautiful, beautiful evening this evening. I want to say that, we're going to talk about a lot of different things. We're going to talk about
thanks for saying that.
We're going to talk about drug dogs.
Everybody really appreciates it.
We're going to talk about drug dogs, anal probes.
That's it.
What more do you need?
We will
We'll talk about some recent elections on Tuesday. All kinds of crap.
Yeah.
Just hang up now.
Damn you, GOP.
Yeah. So what do you want to take? What do you want to take on first? You want to talk about the elections? Let's do that. You go ahead. Virginia elections.
Yeah, I mean, Virginia was probably one of the most prominent.
Yeah, because of what was going on. There was some politics involved.
Yeah, it was weird how they had politics in their politics, but essentially you had a crappy Democrat candidate, your standard Democrat, Obamacare loving Democrat, running against a Tea Party conservative,
right?
Cuccinelli. And then there was this libertarian Sarvis who received a bunch of funding from the Democrats,
and it was kind of a red herring.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird how he took 7% of the vote, right, being funded by Democrats, and the Tea Party candidate couldn't muster up any funding from the GOP, from the National Republicans.
They want to hang those guys out
because he's a Tea Party conservative, and
that's ridiculous.
We don't want Tea Party. We'd rather
moderates. Obviously from Christie, and we'll talk about New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is that the GOP would rather, put their own candidates on the rack and torture them than support them and allow these progressive Democrats to come in and get elected.
It's because the Tea Party people are unelectable. Yeah. Even though Cuccinelli barely lost in Virginia with little to no funding. He ran out of money. He had no media for like 2 weeks. And he still came close.
That's not true. I mean, we have, as a party, elected very conservative Tea Party type candidates, and the Republican Party is intimidated by that.
Yeah, exactly.
And so they figure the only way we can win Republicans is to be a Democrat.
Oh, yeah, you're exactly right.
And that's Christie.
Chris Christie, who
overwhelmingly
won re-election
big
in New
time
Jersey
for a Republican in New Jersey.
Him long walks on the beach, hugging Obama in the sunset.
crying on cue.
Refused to go. Now, New Jersey, I know where New Jersey is. I know where Virginia is. For a politician spending tax money, it's not that far to travel.
No.
To help your fellow Republican in Virginia with his campaign. Chris Christie
Nothing.
Allegedly refused to help him.
He wants to distance himself from the Tea Party candidates. And I don't even like giving the labels. If he's on your team, you back him.
Yeah.
I don't know. You back you root for your home team. You certainly don't want to give it up to your opponents, and that's what happened in this
that's the problem. I would generally rather have a Republican be elected than a Democrat. Now, when we're talking Lindsey Graham, John McCain type Republicans,
okay,
there's not much of a difference.
In the same boat as a Christie.
Exactly. Yeah, there's not much of a difference.
But
and that's because they think.
Would you rather have a Christie than a very progressive Hillary Clinton type candidate?
Would you rather have
or Nancy Pelosi? Or one of those types of Democrats?
Well, yes.
As opposed to a Chris Christie?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I didn't know that.
Where's Bloomberg fit in the mix?
He's an independent.
He's
an independent. And that's another thing. Do you see who got elected as mayor of New York? A Marxist. A self-proclaimed Marxist. He's a damn hippie. Now, it's not that I have anything against hippies in general, as long as they don't get elected mayor of New York. But this guy, oh my goodness, what's he going to do to New York City that hasn't already been done?
Ban soda. Wait.
Well, I don't know if it could be any worse. Maybe you're right. Maybe he'll legalize marijuana. That would be fine with me because I agree with that.
Bam. Forgot about this. I wanted to talk about this. You remember the arguments.
You didn't put it in the preps. We can't talk about it.
Remember the arguments for years and years and years and years and years and years and years from these liberals that say, all you need to do, legalize marijuana and tax it and regulate it, and then we'll all be happy. Well, you see this 25% tax in Colorado? How do you think people are happy about that?
The pot smokers aren't.
Well, they're the ones that for years.
I think the ones that don't smoke pot are very happy with it.
Just legalize it and tax it. Well, there you go.
But they're using that to get in the door.
Okay.
I mean, they want to get their foot in the door and go with that.
Good luck.
Well, look at what's the tax on alcohol and what's the tax on tobacco?
Right.
Pretty high.
And it's getting higher.
And it varies from state to state. I know that. But
that's
the thing
my
is,
point. You don't get your foot in the door and then reduce regulations. It does
very
not work
rarely
that
does
way.
that work.
It does not work
I agree
that
with
way.
that.
Compromise is a one-way street.
So Virginia, dirty pool going on. We'll see what happens. It was a wonderful state. We'll see if they can survive the next 4 years with this very progressive. He came out and said, Virginia's progressive. I'm progressive. That's code word for I'm a communist and a socialist, and that's what we're going to do. New York City. I'm a Marxist. That's well,
What is code? That's code word for I'm a Marxist.
There's no code word there. He's coming out and saying I'm a Marxist. So we'll see what happens.
How the hell did he get elected anywhere in this country?
I don't know.
How does that happen? What are you thinking?
It was very depressing today to listen to the radio and see all of the results across the country on how many progressive Democrats got elected. I mean, if this is where we're going, if this is what America wants, then God help us all, because we're going to be just a socialist country, and we're going to have the same crap that was tried, funny enough, 100 years ago when socialism tried to take over, in 1900s and 1910 and 1920s, in the United States. Didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing, the same type of thing going on in 2013.
Like the quotes I see, I wish somebody would have just tried communism before so we would know if it works.
Yeah, let's do some experiments and see if it is a good political system. Oh, wait a minute. It's failed everywhere in the world.
Never been successful, ever.
Socialism, not so good. And I'm not a mean person. I want to help people that want to help themselves. But taking money and wealth from people that earn it so that they can give it to someone else who does nothing, that contributes nothing to society, is theft. It's wrong. And when the state does it at gunpoint, under the threat of imprisonment or exorbitant fines, that's wrong. That cannot be morally accepted. There's no way you can look at that and say, that's moral. And that's right.
But at some point, and now I am quoting the president here, maybe not an exact quote, paraphrasing the president.
You're paraphrasing.
At some point, you've earned enough. You have enough money.
You don't need any more.
At some point, you don't need any more.
And what is that amount, Nate?
Well, he'll decide for you. You and I couldn't sit here.
We couldn't do that because we don't have the intellect.
We do not. We are not nearly as smart as Mr. Corpsman Obama.
Mr. Corpsman Obama, I guess he graduated. We don't know because we don't have any transcripts.
Was he ever born? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm sure he was born. I have evidence that he does exist.
I'm joking about that.
Of course.
I'm not buying into the birther thing, but anyway, go ahead. Well, I'm not, and I have to make that clear because
I don't know. I mean, there's just,
Well, you're a full scale birther. That's for sure.
If there is evidence out there, produce it. But he hasn't produced it. I'd like to see what his grades were. I'd like to see what classes he took.
I would like to see his transcripts.
But for some reason, he's got his lawyers to lock that up. You'd think under freedom of information as a president that he would say, here's my grade.
No.
I didn't do so well in this class, but I did really well in this class.
Here's the real
There's
sticky
nothing
point.
there.
He's not obligated to release those records. But when you campaign and still claim to be the most transparent administration in U.S. history,
don't get me there.
You would think something like your college transcripts
because he's one of
you would
the
be
worst.
willing to share. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely the worst.
The stuff he's transparent on are security leaks that his administration lets out on purpose
now,
just to serve their political needs.
That's called propaganda. Well, I'm thinking if I actually, went to Columbia and graduated and then went to Harvard Law,
I'd be proud.
And I'd say, here's my thing. I didn't do so well in the sociology class. I only got, a C, but what the hell? You went to Harvard Law.
Harvard.
Come on.
I think probably because it's a lot of anti-American, anti-Constitution courses. Or
it doesn't matter.
There aren't any courses.
Have we seen any documents that said that he actually graduated? There's nothing. We're taking his word on it.
I had lunch with him.
Not only that,
Saturday,
wasn't he disbarred, and his wife was disbarred for some kind of unethical behavior or something?
Oh, don't.
He can't even practice law.
Don't. Come on.
So that just
you're a racist.
That just drives me nuts.
You're a racist.
Listen, I don't care if he's Presbyterian. I'm not racist. I'm not going to judge him on his Presbyterianism.
I am.
He's a liar, 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 pants on fire, and he's very proud of killing people.
Yeah.
Who knew
Where did that come from?
Who knew that I was so good at killing people? That was going to be a strong point.
Where the hell did that come from?
I read it somewhere on the internet. It's got to be true.
He's really proud of killing.
That's that guy's book that came out. There's two guys that came out with a book that said he's quoted saying he was, I'm really good at killing people.
That came out of nowhere.
I'm a little angry tonight.
Yeah, I could tell.
I'm a little angry.
I could tell.
The elections and all this crap, I'm just getting sick and tired of all the crap.
Yeah, well, brace yourself for a year from Tuesday because that's...
Oh, my goodness.
a much more important election.
2014, and that's really going to determine what's going to happen to this country.
That's when we replace Carl Levin here in Michigan with another Democrat.
Another Carl Levin.
Yeah, pretty much. Why don't we just give both seats to Debbie Stabenow?
Let her do both.
Yeah.
We could clone her. I don't know.
I was thinking just push the chairs together and let her sit on them.
She needs that.
No, that wasn't. I wasn't going there.
Oh no, that's cruel.
That is cruel.
Being a big guy myself, I shouldn't say that.
She is a handsome looking woman.
She's beautiful. She's beautiful. We're all beautiful in God's eyes. Let's bash Obama some more. I really like that.
Okay.
I want to see his...
No, Brian, let's not do that.
I want to see his college transcripts. That's ridiculous. I'd give you mine, Nate. I'll give you mine.
I don't want to see yours.
I'll show you the classes I failed and got kicked out of, but I persevered. I got my degrees, and I'm proud of that.
A+ in Rocks 101.
I didn't get an A+. I just got an A. Rocks 101. We used to call the athletes used to take a class called Rocks for Jocks. And it was like, yep, this is a rock. Yeah. And this isn't.
Yeah.
That's a feather, Bill. Yeah, it's a feather. It's a rock. As a geology major. Anyways, what else are we going to talk about? I
think we're almost done.
No. We're not even ready for an break yet, are we?
I'm always ready for a break.
Let's take a. What about the woman who's an Army veteran that posted? She was very proud in Georgia. She posted a picture of her concealed pistol license on Facebook, and the school said, "We can't have you here because you're a danger to all the students."
Yeah,
I can't trust you.
So she
got
posted her
trespassed.
Concealed pistol license,
and her kids go to that
Facebook.
school.
She got a letter that said, if you come on school grounds and we recognize you, you will be arrested.
She
and
got
charged
actually
with
talked
trespassing.
to by police officers at the door. And they said, are you so-and-so? Yeah. Are you a veteran? Yeah. Do you have a concealed pistol?
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you can't come here. And the stinking politically
that didn't happen.
What?
I don't think she talked to police officers. So
that's the article I read.
What I was telling you, the truth, because I care about it.
The truth is important.
She got a letter in the mail that said, come on school grounds, trespassing.
She got that, but then she went
called.
On this. Okay.
She called the principal to see what's going on and whether the principal had this sent because of her post on Facebook. The principal said, yes. And the principal further said, it is my duty and responsibility as the principal of this school to ensure the safety and security of all our faculty, staff, and students. Which apparently is because the principal's afraid of this woman now because she has a concealed pistol license.
Well, I'm looking at an article here. It says that she asked what she did wrong, and the principal is scared of you and doesn't want you on the grounds. She asked, what for? And the police officer said, were you in the Army? And she said, yes. He's like, do you have a concealed permit? She said, yes.
Here was my confusion. It's the Board of Education Police.
Oh,
It's the Richmond County Board of Education Police.
Do they have a police department?
The Board of Education?
Well, I heard it was an actual police officer, but I don't know.
It says the Board of Education Police.
Who said that?
It's from
Article?
The Blaze. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Board of
hope that's
Education Police warning her. Well, some schools, some schools do have Detroit has their own police department.
Were you in the
for
Army?
school.
Yes. Do you have a concealed weapons permit? Yes. Well, the principal's afraid of you.
Yeah.
So
Come
she's asking for a public apology. She moved her kids, like you said,
Right.
and hopefully.
Well, the principal, like you were saying, she goes, it's my duty and responsibility as principal of the school to ensure the safety and security of all our faculty, staff, and students. Well, what threat did she have? What perceivable articulable what razz do you have that she's a threat?
Yeah,
none.
The woman that this happened to has a good point. She said, why did she just go through the legal route with the trespassing order? Why didn't she talk to me if she was afraid of me? I mean,
well, it doesn't. I mean, tens of thousands of people have concealed pistol licenses in Georgia, like they do in many other states.
But you know what's really threatening is when you post them on Facebook, a picture of your license.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't do that, Brian.
I would never do that.
Well, that's why you're allowed in every school in the nation.
No, I'm not. Not since the court order.
Hey, she got one too, but it was
different. Well, it wasn't a court order. It was just the school
sure.
saying that she couldn't come on there.
Yep.
Well, like she said, she's moved her child to another school, and that school has no problem with her coming onto school grounds. The stupidity is palpable.
Now, let's not forget, this is a military veteran.
Trained in the use of deadly force.
You would think, on top of whatever requirements
trainings Georgia has, I don't know.
for a concealed pistol license.
Yeah, varies, but yes. Exactly.
That's absurd.
So we'll see what happens. I could predict a lawsuit. We'll see what happens. She's probably a great mother and will not do that at all. And she's take her kid out of that class and go somewhere else.
Yeah, probably. Let's take a quick break. Look us up on Facebook, facebook.com/@oddshow. And of course, stay tuned in right here at Red State Talk Radio, later. And we're not on Red State right now, are we?
No, we're just out there.
All right. We'll be right back.
Bye-bye.
The voice of American conservatism. WRS Digital, Red State Talk Radio.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
Fact. U.S. credit card debt is 8 times larger than it was 30 years ago. No wonder you and I are feeling the credit card crunch. You're not alone. Increasing prices and the costs of credit are stretching budgets and preventing people just like us from getting ahead or just catching up with our debts. At American Financial Debt Relief, we can help. We have tested ways to help you get out of debt. Find out how now. The call is free to learn more. If you qualify, we can reduce your interest, show you how to stop your debt from getting larger, and help you get out of debt faster than you can by making minimum payments. So if you're falling behind on your credit cards or medical bills, give us a call right now, where a free 5-minute call can change your life.
800-978-4815. 800-978-4815. Reduce your credit card debt. Call now. 800-978-4815. 800-978-4815. Obama wants your money, and he's determined to get it. He wants your money to buy off unions, his Wall Street cronies, and to expand the Obama welfare nation. Well, Swiss America is determined to stop him from stealing your money. They want to send you an award-winning film, I Want Your Money, on DVD that exposes his plan. It'll help keep the government's hands off your money using gold, silver, and other hard asset strategies to protect your hard-earned money. Call today and request the DVD, I Want Your Money, normally $19.95, yours absolutely free. Let Swiss America show you how to use gold, silver, and other hard assets to protect your hard-earned money. Call now. 800-932-5146. 800-932-5146. Call Swiss America right now. Learn all about investing in gold. 800-932-5146. 800-932-5146. Call now.
I think we're getting pulled over, Brian.
Pull over, Nate. Be cool, man. Be cool.
Well, no, I mean, we're in luck because we are not in New Mexico.
No, we are not.
We're in Bangladesh. So
we're in Bangladesh. It could be a lot worse.
It could. Well, in New Mexico, you get pulled over for, your blinker not working.
Or rolling through a stop.
Rolling through a stop sign.
And if you get out and you clench your buttocks.
Yeah, don't do that.
Then they bring the dog over, Leo.
L-E...
law enforcement officer, Leo. That's not a very clever name for the dog.
Extremely clever.
And Leo alerts, that's the word, alerts, and by gosh, now they have probable cause to call a judge because our dog has alerted to the scent of illegal drugs, and we're going to get a court order to anally probe you.
Yeah.
And the problem is with Leo is he's got a history of not doing very well.
Yeah.
He's also hasn't been certified in 2 or 3 years. You're supposed to be certified every
April
every
2011, his certification expired.
Oh, I thought it was 2010, but whatever. So a couple of years.
Yeah,
Okay.
and sometime in the past, it doesn't,
Unfortunately, the Supreme Court has said, we're going to allow dogs to alert as long as they've, been certified by a recognized organization or they've been trained in the last year or something, which is crap because you can train dogs to alert for everything. So you no longer have to worry about the Fourth Amendment. If you bring a dog up and it alerts, whether it's been trained or not, as long as you can say that dog alerted, Fourth Amendment goes out the door, and we now have probable cause that a crime has been committed, and we can do what you want. What we want with you, your ass is literally ours.
Literally, because what they did with these people, more than one, I know of at least 2 of them.
2 so far.
In this
and more
county
will come out, I'm
with
sure.
Leo, the awesome dog. And I love this dog. I would
Now,
keep him, but he wouldn't search for drugs for me. Or maybe he would, but not to search people. They took them to the hospital.
Well, the thing is, I heard
enemas,
wait a minute, no, stop. So let me go. Normally, when you're suspected of drugs and they get a warrant to do a body
Please
cavity
tell me your
search,
experiences.
I will tell you my experience with anal probes, which is extensive, by the way.
Mostly from aliens.
Aliens and illegal aliens down the road. Illegal aliens. You get it?
That's offensive.
I know. The thing is, so they can do a body cavity search, right? So they take him to a hospital, and the first hospital says, it's unethical. We're really not going to do all the stuff that you want us to do. So they go to another hospital, which is outside of the county, where the warrant is good.
Yep.
So not only now have they violated the warrant, but they go to this hospital, which apparently they're familiar with because this hospital has done this before. They get a doctor to do a finger probe. Okay? So you figure, okay, one time they go up there, woohoo, they find nothing. That would end it. But oh no, they did it like 7 times. On top of that, they did like 3 or 4 enemas where they forced fluids into your colon to make you go potty in front of not only the doctors, the nurses, and the police officers. They did that 3 times. Then they took an x-ray. So they haven't found anything with the first anal probe, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, or the first and the second and the third enema, nor did they see anything in the x-ray. Oh, that's not enough. We have to keep you for 14 hours. And they put this guy under with drugs. I mean, that's serious. You put people under with drugs, people die with anesthesia. They put him under and they do a colonoscopy because maybe he's got drugs 15 feet up inside his colon. We got to make sure.
He was a tall man.
Oh, guess what? They didn't find anything with the first 7 anal probes. They didn't find anything with the enemas, and they didn't find anything with the colonoscopy. Horrible on a dog that's not even certified. Come to find out, this isn't the first occasion where this has happened. Another person has come out, and it's the exact same scenario at the exact same hospital. Now, the guy's suing the police department, as well he should. He probably won't get very far because the Supreme Court has said, well, the dog alerted and they did everything they could because the war on drugs is so important. But they did it to the second guy, and we'll see how many other people they've done it to. So it's state-sanctioned anal rape. If that's not bad enough, in Washington State, they're training where marijuana is legal. They're not going to be training dogs to sniff for marijuana, to alert on marijuana. Unfortunately, all the dogs that are trained alert on marijuana. So they're like, well, what do we do? Because we can't untrain them. And any future dogs, we're not going to train them to do marijuana because it's legal here. And one police officer was whining because, well, I really don't like this law because we get so much good probable cause from our doggies that alert on marijuana, so we can anally probe these guys. And what are we going to do on Saturday nights when we can't anally probe people?
How will we violate rights if we don't have a dog to tell us it's okay?
My goodness. And dogs are so trustworthy.
They are.
And certainly you can't train them, and there's a lot of evidence to suggest that a lot of dogs alert to please the trainer when there's no drugs involved at all. But yet they can go to a judge and say, our dog alerted, and the judge goes, okay, that's probable cause. I'll sign you, and you can anal probe this guy. Well,
why did the judge kind of sound like Goofy?
I don't know.
Goofy's a dog.
Did. That was a
judge
soundbite.
Dog, so that makes sense.
So the thing is, where does it end? I mean, when you can have a government that can take you and insert things into your body, can put you under anesthesia so you're unconscious and do things to you and have it sanctioned by the state, that's a very, very frightening thing for a government to have that much power.
Well, these anal probes
based on a dog
aren't much different than what Mr. Obama's been doing to this nation for 5 years.
That's true.
No, but on the plus side, these two despicable officers in New Mexico will have to face law enforcement board, and the doctors that were involved are
they're not
risk
being
of
sued.
losing their,
they're not being sued that I heard.
Their licensing.
They actually billed the guy in question $6,000 for the colonoscopy and the anal probes. So thank you very much. Slam bam. Thank you, ma'am. Here's your bill.
Well,
I doubt he'll pay it.
What I'm saying is, hopefully the doctors will also be forced in front of the licensing board for what they did, because they weren't authorized to
do any of
any of these medical procedures. They didn't have the man's consent, and it was outside of the search warrant's jurisdiction.
Right. And I heard it was expired.
The warrant?
That there was a time frame involved.
Yeah, possibly.
Because they had to go to another hospital.
Yeah, well.
So I think this is a big lawsuit, but the underlying frightening point is, what do we allow our government to do on the war on drugs? Especially when, guess what? They didn't find any drugs on any of these guys that they did this to. That's frightening. Now, if you really want to have a war on drugs, I guess if I were a police officer and, I was legitimate and we did a cavity search one time and we didn't find anything, I'd say, okay, you're good to go. If it's up there farther than that, good on you. You got it. I'm not going to dig any farther.
Good luck getting that out.
I'm not going to dig any farther, have at her. But 14 hours, unconscious, colonoscopies, enemas, and digital anal probes, I think, goes above and beyond what is reasonable in a society. And people have to wake up and realize that this is what's going on with the police state in this country and the war on drugs. And when you have officers in Washington State where marijuana is legal now saying, oh, I really don't like this because we have so much probable cause when we can bring our doggy out and he alerts. And we can violate these people's rights, whether they're guilty or not. What price do we want to pay? How bad do we want to fight drugs when innocent people are subjected to this kind of treatment? Is it worth it? As a society, we have to look and say, is this what we want to be? Is this the kind of society we want to be, where we can take innocent people and do these things to them in the name of the war on drugs? I don't think so.
Well, if you go back to one of our earlier shows when we interviewed Merle Temple.
Yeah, he was
former
a narcotics
FBI drug agent.
Yep.
He started in that job under Nixon
in the 70s.
When the drug war really
70s.
started.
Yeah.
And he said it was completely different. Yeah. Completely different. They weren't busting people driving down the road with a blinker trying to search them for drugs.
They actually adhered to the Fourth Amendment.
Yeah.
And to the Fifth Amendment.
Yeah.
And they played by those rules that were set up by our Constitution. Not so much anymore. And that's scary.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
just don't get pulled over, I guess, is a good option.
Well, we could go into Obamacare.
Yeah, why not? I love talking about the president. He's one of my favorite people.
We can talk about the failure of trying to get 1.7 million young people to sign up for Obamacare to help diffuse the cost of insurance coverage. They're relying on the healthy young people to pay their fair share to offset the costs of those that are older and at higher risk.
Well, yeah, and that's how this whole thing was structured. And that's not different on the surface from how a private medical insurance company works.
Right.
The implementation is wrong in Obamacare.
Well, but the private organizations aren't forcing you to buy insurance.
Exactly. Right. So essentially what's supposed to happen is we force all the young, healthy people that don't need health insurance.
Nor want it.
The 20-year-old male that doesn't
Healthy.
need
Right.
maternity coverage, but he'll have to pay for it anyway, and abortion coverage.
He doesn't need a colonoscopy because he's not 50 years old, and he doesn't need all kinds of other
So his
going
premiums won't go to claims because he won't be going to the doctor that often.
But he'll be paying into that system. And that will help reduce the cost of those at higher risk. That's the idea. You spread the wealth, and you spread the cost.
That's exactly what it is. It's not about healthcare at all. But that isn't really happening, is it? These young people aren't signing up. First of all, because they can't, because the website's broken.
Well, that's one issue. Yeah.
And if you call in, well, the web portal, apparently that they use internally, is broken. That doesn't do any good.
Eagle out front should have told you we're broken down.
And we see the 30-year-olds that are qualifying for Medicaid, Medicare, whichever one it is, they're not paying any premium anyway. So it's not, they're getting subsidized, so they're not helping to subsidize the those that are going to use.
So the cost is going to continue to go up and up and up and up.
Which it is. But if you like your plan, you keep your plan. Period.
I lost my plan. Well, you must not like your plan.
Yeah. Millions of people are losing their plan because the law says if it changes at all from the time that, anytime after the bill was signed into law, if your plan changes and it's substandard, it can be canceled and it's no longer grandfathered.
It has to meet.
Unless you acquired the plan through collective bargaining and you're one of my union buddies. Then you can keep it.
Well,
otherwise,
I'm not even so sure
canceled.
about that, but
I'm sure about that.
Well, okay. We'll see.
What? Costs are going up.
Yeah, well, my point, I guess, was that, you got a 20-year-old that's going to pay, he's going to pay the minimum because he's in good health. But the minimum I'm seeing is, $145, $150 a month. So, that's a little over $1,200 or whatever, $1,500 a year.
Yeah.
That he's going to have to pay out of his pocket. He's going to have a huge deductible.
Yep.
It's $6,000 to $12,000. It depends on what state. That means that he's going to pay the $1,200, and even if he goes to the doctor 2 or 3 times a year for sinus infection or bronchitis or whatever he has, he's going to have to pay those $400, $500, $600 in fees for penicillin or antibiotics and the doctor's fees. He's going to pay another $500, $600 on top of that. So he's going to pay a couple of grand and get nothing for that.
Right.
Where if he were to just pay it out of his own pocket, he'd be out the $500 or $600 for going to the doctor and not have to pay that in the premiums at all. And that's, how the younger generation is doing it if they're not under their parents' coverage.
Yeah, right.
So it's a no-brainer. If I were 20-something and not under my parents' coverage, I wouldn't buy health insurance. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, not if you weren't getting a great deal through an employer or something.
Right. If I had to buy it myself, I would not buy it. I would take my chances.
Yeah.
And they're being forced into it. And that's the issue I have, is the forcing. in the power of the government coming down on you and say, you must buy a product whether you want it or not. That's just wrong. Fundamentally, again, I go back to that moral issue. That is wrong. Yeah. And I don't care, I hear the progressives argue, well, everybody's got to pay, because we're paying for it anyways. All the people that have health insurance are paying high costs because not everybody's paying. Well, then fix a little bit of that. Or if you're being dropped because you have all of a sudden diagnosed with cancer and you lose your health insurance, you can address that. But don't force everybody in the country to buy health insurance. It's wrong.
If it's really a good plan, you don't need to force people to buy it.
Must not like your plan if you got canceled.
Oh, that's horrible.
Ridiculous. Now, the other thing is the FBI are being brought into all of this. Of course, they're the enforcers of Obamacare.
Why wouldn't they?
Let's say if you make a mistake and you get a tax credit or you get an exchange, where you pay a little bit less, you make a mistake honestly. If you're caught doing that and it's not your fault, your penalty is only $25,000.
That's not so bad.
That's
probably less than your deductible will be anyway.
Or as much as you make a year.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So if you make a mistake, we're only going to hit you for $25,000. Now, if you intentionally defraud the federal government, then your penalty will be what? $250,000 penalty.
Well, the government doesn't like
$250,000.
The government doesn't like it when you use coercion or things like that to fraud, lies, to take money from them. Much like they do with every program they run. They don't like it. They hate the competition.
I saw a interview with a Democrat, and it was a reporter or something was asking the questions, what about all these people that are getting canceled? And the Democratic Party line was, oh, well, they're only getting canceled because their insurance wasn't any good, and these people wouldn't want to buy that insurance because it's no good. And that's why they're being dropped, because it's no good, and these people aren't happy with it, and you're going to get a lot better insurance with us through Obamacare. And the reporter said, no, these people seem to be happy with it. They actually were paying the premiums and were happy with it. Oh, no. It was subpar insurance company, and that's why they dropped you. It wasn't because of Obamacare. It was because these insurance companies are scammers, and you'll be much more happy with our insurance.
Yeah.
What? I don't even know what to say
with
that.
The president promised over and over and over and over that you could keep your plan. What he meant was, if it was a decent plan that he approved of, you could probably keep it. Your doctor probably won't be around anymore because they're going to move on to better things.
That's the other thing that's going, is a lot of these high-end, high-quality hospitals now are saying they're not going to be taking some of these insurances because they're going to opt out of it. And a lot of doctors are saying, I'm not going to take any insurance now. I'm going to take cash, and I'll work out payments, and I will finance my patients, and they'll pay a small interest rate if they want to make payments. I'll take care of it that way. Screw the insurance. And that's what's going to happen as well. Or you're going to get a lot of people that are just going to go out of the healthcare profession altogether. And you're going to have the quality go down.
Quality will decline of doctors, of nurses, of facilities, of everything will go down. What you will see, at least temporarily, is an increase in something good, which is health savings accounts, which is basically you store money away. You pack it away for when something happens. You can pull this cash out and pay for your medical expense. You don't have to worry about insurance. People will move to that sort of thing for catastrophic coverage, and doctors will be much more willing to work with you if you walk in with a pile of cash rather than forms for them to fill out or to get Obama to send them a check.
Or work out some kind of financial thing. I mean, car dealers do that all the time. a lot of car dealers, smaller car dealers, they'll finance the higher risk people at a little bit higher interest rate. They take on the risk. They will, sell you the car, and then you make payments. You pay a little bit more in insurance, but it's done through them and you, and they look at individuals. Are they going to pay me back or not? And that works out as well. Now, we did have a soundbite. Do you have that handy? Okay. Do we need to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a quick break. We will be back. Facebook.com/@oddshow, @oddshow.com.
Red State Talk Radio.
The idea of government taking over healthcare is enough to make you sick.
The conservative voice.
When it comes to TV, if you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best value in entertainment. Not only will you find the same channels you know and love for less, Dish sweetens the deal with free HD for life and premium movie channels free for 3 months, including Blockbuster at home. You can also save a bundle when you combine DishNet high-speed internet with your TV service. Why would you ever pay more for TV? Switch to Dish and see what real value is. Free HD for life, premium channels free for 3 months, scores of movies with Blockbuster at home, premium savings when you bundle DishNet high-speed internet service. Limited time offer, 24-month agreement with credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing and other restrictions apply. Call for details.
Call Dish Satellite, your Dish authorized retailer now. 800-507-9468. 800-507-9468. 800-507-9468. That's 800-507-9468.
Red State Talk Radio.
And we're back.
Hello.
I mentioned before the break we were going to come back. We're talking about Obamacare, and we're talking about what a cluster F it is, and some of the problems that are happening. And there was a press conference when Jay Carney, the press secretary for Obama, was taking questions, and John Carl is a reporter, a media person in the press room or whatever when they have these
He's
press
with
conferences.
ABC News.
And he asked a question of Jay Carney about signing up for Obamacare. Obama said, "Oh, you can call in 20 minutes. You're signed up." So there was a little confusion about whether you were signed up in 20 minutes or whether you could just give some information within 20 minutes. And there was an exchange that went on. And I don't think Jay Carney acted very professionally at all, where he was actually mocking John Carl, the reporter, about some of the questions he asked, and I think we have a soundbite of that.
Oh, we do.
But Jay, I want to go back to exactly...
That would be that tone I'm talking about.
I want to go back to exactly what the president said. He said you can bypass the website and apply by phone or in person, and then it can be done in 25 minutes. But these memos say that at the end of the day, we are all stuck in the same queue because they all have to go through the same portal.
John, I get it. But the person who calls isn't the one who continues to wait after the paper application is filled.
Right? Your mocking is entertaining, but the president said that you could apply within 25 minutes. That right. Was not true.
The work that you do, I think everybody else is looking quizzically because there's a reason to be quizzical here. You call up, you give your information, you get the questions answered that you need answered, and then they take over from there. And then you find out what you're eligible for, and the process goes forward.
25 minutes?
No, once your process, once your application is processed. The point was to relieve some of the frustration that Americans were understandably experiencing.
The thing to be quizzical about, because everyone's looking on quizzically, is how the hell did someone like Jay Carney get a job so high? Oh, well, he's a good liar.
Excellent liar.
So that's why he got this job, because the press secretary is...
I don't know how he sleeps at night.
Chief liar on a golden pillow.
Maybe. There was a discrepancy here because the reporter was saying, well, if you call in, you're going to get registered within 25 minutes, and Jay Carney is saying, no, it takes you 25 minutes to answer all the questions, and then it takes months, years, days, I'm not sure, before you're actually processed and you're signed up, and that is sort of an unknown, in air quotes, unknown how long that will take. So there was a semantics type of back and forth there that was kind of ugly. I can see John Carl's point, and I can see Jay Carney's point, but in the end, it's more misinformation and trying to fool the masses of the people when I think we're smarter than the government thinks we are in some regards. Not all regards. That really what you're doing is you're filling out some stuff and giving some information, and it could be weeks or months before you get any feedback on whether you're in the system or not. And then again, you don't know what you're going to have to pay, and you don't get any feedback in that regard.
Well, yeah, because you can't just go browse and shop around.
Right.
They decided not to add that feature because nobody would sign up if they
Hell
saw
no.
what the prices were. The other point is, Jay Carney here, he is so snarky.
He is. He's getting really snarky. He needs to go.
His job is not to mock reporters that are actually asking real questions. He went on and he said, I think everybody else here understands what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
I'm sorry I can't say the
understand
same for you.
Yeah.
Insulting.
Come
on.
And I think his days are numbered. Maybe not.
Do you?
Yeah. I hope so.
He's helped Obama make it this far. Why would he get rid of him?
I don't know. But maybe he's got no other prospects in the real world. But, boy, I don't know how the guy can sleep at night.
Again,
the court,
very
the
comfortably,
court liar.
I'm sure. Very comfortably.
Court jester liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
If only.
Let's move on to Sanford, Florida. Does that sound familiar?
It does not.
Sanford, Florida.
Sanford, Florida. George Zimmerman.
Oh, yeah.
That white guy.
No.
That white guy from Sanford.
Well, he's white, sort of. He's Hispanic, sort of. I don't know what he is. He's just a person. Just a guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, apparently the Neighborhood Watch volunteer organization was saying, "Oh, you can't. We're going to make it now a rule that you can't carry a firearm if you want to be part of the Neighborhood Watch."
Because if you carry a firearm, you murder innocent little black kids.
Right, with Skittles and
all the ingredients to make drugs, but not for that. Drink. They just happen to have them.
Yeah. But the thing is, there was apparently a misunderstanding because the Sanford police chief came out and said, "Oh, no, wait a minute. If you're part of the Neighborhood Watch group, you can still carry arms while you're patrolling. And if you are a citizen that just wants to patrol the neighborhood, we're not prohibiting you from carrying your arms.
Because we can't.
If you have a license and all that. What we're saying is, if you belong to the upper echelon of citizens, which is the Citizen on Patrol group, which is COP, which is cops. If you
wait a second.
What?
Which Police Academy 4?
Mm-hmm.
Citizens on Patrol.
Not only that, but King of the Hill did an episode with that.
Guns.
With what's his face? Hank Hill's father was a COP, a Citizen on Patrol. He was a cop.
I love Police Academy movies. Those were great.
Yeah, they're funny.
Hightower, don't mess with Hightower.
Oh, Bubba Smith. Yeah. Michigan State alumni. Let's don't get into that because I was at the University of Michigan State game. Go
blue.
Go green.
Go white.
Go green and white.
Oh.
Go Michigan State. They kicked Michigan's butt.
Yeah,
but anyways, good game. But we digress. We get back to Sanford and No. The police chief says, "Oh, no, it's a misunderstanding. The Citizen on Patrol group is a little bit higher than the general Neighborhood Watch in that those people actually get a car and they get a uniform. And
I want to do that.
And they do all kinds of cool stuff. Those people were never allowed to
like
carry
reserve
a firearm.
officers.
Kinda, yeah. A little bit below a reserve, but a little bit above the neighborhood watch. They were never allowed to carry firearms. And that's the misunderstanding that everybody's talking about.
Here,
we haven't changed anything.
Let us give you all the equipment that makes you a target,
yeah,
but not allow you to carry a firearm.
Anything that would help you protect yourself in the event of disaster.
How stupid is that? I mean, that's a different topic, but how stupid.
And that's liability insurance and all that kind of stuff that goes into
come
that.
on.
Yeah.
Come on, give me a break.
I'm just telling you.
No, that's ridiculous. We do have to wrap up, though. We're about out of time here, so.
Thank goodness.
I know. Thanks for listening.
Remember, do we have a minute? Because I just want to say.
We have 1 minute.
November 5th, Guy Fawkes Day in the UK.
Yeah.
Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be for God.
Yeah.
Remember, the government should fear the citizens.
The
citizens shouldn't fear the government.
You got to get that Catholic Church back in power.
I don't know if it has. Well, it does involve religion, but it was also the King of Scotland and the King of England and trying to wipe that out. So there was lots of stuff. Yeah, we don't have time for that.
No, we don't. So,
but that was last Monday, or earlier this
silly
week.
masks and then
it's not silly masks. There was a big rally in D.C. though. A lot of people were wearing the Guy Fawkes mask.
Oh, hey, your boy pled guilty.
Ooh, that's another story.
We should have talked about that. I forgot.
Adam Kokesh.
Pled guilty
but we don't have a
marijuana charge and a firearms charge.
Yeah, I got to call in to my guy who's got Adam's cell phone number, and he's going to check into it and see why it happened. So next week, hopefully, we'll have a little bit of insight into what happened there and why he pled. I think he was being tortured.
Do you?
Well, he was kept for 3 months or 4 months in solitary confinement.
He was a danger.
That gets on people's nerves, and that's how the government can screw you. If they can anally probe you
for not using a blinker
or running a stop sign, then by God, they can do all kinds of stuff to you in Washington, D.C. It's a frightening world out there, people.
Yes, we can. Oh, boy. All right, well, see you next week.
Bye-bye.